Hallo liebe Leute, willkommen wieder zurück zu einer Folge Gabriel Knight. Ja, wir haben uns jetzt die Tarotkarten legen lassen. Mal schauen, was uns jetzt erwartet.
Gerda's here. I wonder what she's up to.
Gerda was in love with Wolfgang.
Das konnte man sich aber fast schon denken. Also ich konnte es mir schon fast denken. Ah, okay, ich sehe gerade. Irgendwie hängt das gerade. Ich werde noch mal raustappen müssen. Okay, irgendwie hat sich das Spiel aufgehangen. Das ist nicht gut. Das ist nicht vorteilhaft, Leute. Warum hat sich jetzt das Spiel aufgehangen? So, liebe Leute, ich habe es wieder hinbekommen. Also das sind so Sachen, die mich nerven, wenn dann auf einmal irgendwas nicht geht. Aber ich glaube, das wisst ihr ja.
The castle looks huge from here. they've got more rooms left to restore than I thought. The castle looks... I think it'll be quicker to go back the way I came.
That's better, don't you think? I'm so sorry. I was an idiot.
Gabriel and I, we never...
I know. It's my fault. It's Gabriel's fault. He never tells me anything. I don't know why he didn't want me on this case.
Maybe he just...
Don't even try to make excuses for him. Still, he's up to his neck in it, I think. Will you help me out with something?
Of course.
I have to do some research on Ludwig. I want to go see some of his castles.
Take Gabriel's car. There's a map of southern Bavaria in the car. Ludwig's castles are all marked.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Ja, traurig.
At least I have the car keys now.
Das hier ist wahrscheinlich Rittersburg. Ne, das ist Rittersburg. Und das da? Aber wir fahren erstmal dorthin. Schon krass aus.
These scenes seem to tell a story, but I have no idea what story. These scenes seem to tell us.
The paintings in this room are from the Siegfried Saga.
Wer kommt da nicht?
The paintings.
These scenes are from the Siegfried Saga.
Ja, das hilft uns gerade nicht weiter.
I wonder where that door leads. I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
You are now standing in the king's bedroom. The theme of the bedroom is Tristan and Isolde, a tragic love story retold in Wagner's opera. The opera was given its first performance in Munich in 1865, and a 20-year-old Ludwig attended. This is probably the most elaborate and expensive bedroom ever created. It took 14 woodcarvers 4.5 years to create this room. It was this kind of extravagance that bankrupted the king. In the years before his death, he found it increasingly difficult to find money from any source.
Okay. Dann schauen wir mal, was wir... Jetzt lädt da gerade... Achso, sie... Ah, okay. Das hat bestimmt dann irgendwas zu bedeuten. Okay.
Did they have running water in 1886?
The richly carved bed, with its canopy, resembles a Gothic building and its turrets. The bed's draperies were handmade by dozens of Bavarian seamstresses.
Maybe Ludwig thought all this luxury would help him sleep. Maybe. Did they have...
Mhm.
Scenes from the opera Tristan and Isolde. Scenes from the opera.
I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
This is the king's living room. The walls are decorated with scenes from the Lohengrin saga. The king first saw Wagner's opera Lohengrin when he was 16, and it so affected him that he considered it a form of enlightenment. The tragedy of Lohengrin was his essential loneliness. This too was Ludwig's own fate. Ludwig withdrew more and more into his fantasy world of epic heroes and absolute monarchy. An ideal he was determined to create in his castles if he could not have it in his real life. He only wanted to be alone with his dreams, so much so that even his servants were kept at a distance and were not allowed to look at him.
What were you afraid they'd see?
The miracle of the Grail.
These linens look seriously expensive and seriously old. These linens...
The swan motif is featured throughout the castle, but it is particularly prominent in this room. Both the swan and the lily were symbols Ludwig associated with himself. They represented his ideals of majesty and purity. The painting behind the swan shows Lohengrin's arrival.
More swans.
This is a reproduction of the grotto from the Tannhäuser saga. In such places, Ludwig could pretend he was one of his beloved mythic heroes. As the grotto personifies, the castles were solitary playgrounds built for Ludwig alone. He believed the masses were too coarse to appreciate fine art, and he seldom entertained guests. In fact, Ludwig had a standing order that upon his death, the castles were to be destroyed. Fortunately, the estate was in such debt that the castles were opened for paying tours only weeks after Ludwig's death. They haven't closed since. It is one of the great ironies of Ludwig's story that the castles that he was thought insane for building are now considered Bavaria's finest treasures. They have paid for their construction many times over.
I can almost picture Ludwig in here. I wonder what he really dreamt about in this room.
This is the king's study. Ludwig spent much time at his desk writing letters, drawing up plans for his projects, and studying his favorite authors. He loved poetry, history, and the classics. In later years, he also studied the occult. What affairs of state he did reluctantly attend to were generally attended to alone at his desk in writing. His reluctance to meet with his heads of state and perform the duties of the king were one of the reasons for the charges brought against him in 1886. But Ludwig dreamt of true kingship and a true monarchy, and the small powers left to him after Bavaria succeeded power to Prussia only incited his disdain and frustration.
Okay.
The study paintings depict scenes from the Tannhäuser Saga and the Wartburg Castle. The study paintings depict scenes from the Tannhäuser Saga and the Wartburg Castle.
I doubt there's anything left in there now. Besides, the guard would kill me if I touched it. I wonder why he was studying the occult before he died. I wonder why.
The study paintings This is the final room of our tour, the Singers' Hall. It was modeled after the Singers' Hall of the Wartburg Castle, where minstrel competitions were held in the 13th century. The hall was built for small private concerts, but Ludwig himself never gave one here. It is said that during the last few years of Wagner's life, he came to Neuschwanstein frequently and performed for the king alone in this room. The hall is probably best known for its enigmatic wolf paintings. The original paintings were from the Parsifal saga, but in 1882, Ludwig had them replaced, supplying the description and titles of the new paintings himself. While all the other rooms in the castle show scenes from Wagner's operas, the scenes in this room are not from any opera that anyone can identify. It is yet another of the many mysteries associated with the life of the fairy tale king.
Krass.
The hunters track down Engelhard and Hildegunde. Hildegunde's imprisonment. The wedding feast of Hildegunde and the Baron. The death of Engelhard. This is Ludwig's private chapel. The king was a devout Catholic, as were all of the Wittelsbacher rulers. They supported the Roman Church even when other European countries were dominated by Protestantism. The stained glass window depicts St. Louis receiving the last sacraments.
The Black Madonna of Altadine. I wonder what her story is all about. The Black... It's a beautiful crucifix, ivory and gold. It's a beautiful... Maybe Ludwig... Did they have running... Did they have... These linens look seriously expensive and seriously old. More...
Warte mal, ich will mich hier gucken, ob ich hier irgendwas anklicken könnte.
I doubt there's anything left in... I wonder... There must be a story behind these wolf paintings. But what story? There must be a...
Engelhard and the Blacksmith. Engelhard courts Hildegunde.
I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty. I don't think the guards want to be bothered while... I don't think the... Nice view of the Alps.
So, eigentlich habe ich, glaube ich, alles. Ist jetzt nicht.
This is the final room of the hall. Ludwig's childhood castle, Hohenschwangau, is visible from the lookout in the Singers' Hall.
Mhm.
Our tour begins in the entry hall. Ludwig II lived from 1845 to 1886. He assumed the Bavarian throne at the age of 18 when his father died. Ludwig's passion was building castles. He built 3 during his lifetime: Linderhof, Herrenchiemsee, and Neuschwanstein. Plans for a 4th castle, Falkenstein, were underway when he died. In addition to his obsession with building, Ludwig also had a passion for classical heroic German mythology, a taste he shared with the German opera composer Richard Wagner. Neuschwanstein is decorated throughout with themes from these stories, most of which directly relate to Wagner's operas.
I wonder where that door leads.
The closed door leads to the tower, which is not part of the tour. The king was making his way to this very door when he was arrested in 1886.
These scenes seem to tell a story, but I have no idea what story.
The paintings in this room are from the Siegfried saga.
It's a beautiful. A king saint? I wonder if Ludwig pictured himself that way, or maybe he just wanted to be that way.
The paintings above the altar depict St. Louis surrounded by the seraphim. An interesting side note. For a period of about a year, the Louis images in all three castles were ordered to be covered up with black cloth on the unfathomable whim of the king.
A king saint?
Scenes from the opera
These linens. I can almost picture Ludwig in here. I wonder what he really dreamt about in this room. I wonder. I doubt.
Gut, okay, dann würde ich jetzt in das andere Schloss reisen. Und dann mache ich da auch aus. Genau. Ja, wenn es euch gefallen hat, lasst mir gerne einen Daumen hoch da. In den Kommentaren könnt ihr mal schreiben, ob ihr schon mal Schloss Neuschwanstein wart. Ich war da schon. Aber es ist so viele Jahre her, ich kann mich nicht mehr wirklich dran erinnern. Ja, über ein Abo würde ich mich auch freuen. Und ja, dann wünsche ich euch noch einen schönen Tag. Lasst es euch gut gehen und dann bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss.